What's going on, you guys? So, great night of fights. Every single one of them, from the very first one to the very last one, they were all good fights. Very competitive while they lasted, right? But David Morrell versus the Russian dude, I forgot his name, but respect to the Russian guy. He really came in there and gave David Morrell a really good fight. And a lot of people are probably going to say that Morrell lost the fight. He did get dropped, I believe, in the 5th round. And throughout the fight, the dude was giving him, fits. He was a strong dude. No, very unknown guy, but he was in the top 10 of the rankings for the light heavyweights, so he was no joke. And like I said in my prediction video, I expected this to be a tougher fight than people thought. Now, I did pick Morrell to win, but I wasn't, so sure about it, and I really wasn't so sure he actually won the fight. I definitely think they should probably run that fight back, but it's probably not going to be a fight that David Morrell is going to be looking forward to, again. But he got the split decision victory, I believe. He won on cards, I know that, but I think it might have been split decision. I think one guy actually had it to draw, so it was majority decision, I believe. But all in all, it was a good fight. And then the Subriel Matias, Alberto Puello, I had picked Puello. He started out really strong, and then Matias came on a little bit in the mid rounds, and constant pressure throughout the whole entire fight, lots of body work and stuff like that. And in all honesty, I think he needs to get his gloves checked. The way he punches, they don't look like he's throwing hard shots, but they have a crazy effect. And he's shown that throughout his career, that he doesn't look like a heavy puncher, but he surprisingly is. It gives me Antonio Margarito vibes. And we seen, Matias actually have a fight, and the dude ended up dying. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm speculating a little too hard into that, but I'm not going to be surprised if later on down the line they find plaster in his gloves or something like that. But he came on in the middle rounds. You saw Puello slowly fade, but Puello caught like a second win in the championship rounds, and I thought won a string of those rounds. And I honestly thought Puello won the fight. They gave it to Matias. It's not the biggest deal. It was a very competitive fight. It could have gone either way. But now he's moving on to fight Dalton Smith, a UK fighter. And the winner of that fight is fighting Puello again. So we could see Matias Puello again, or we could see Dalton Smith fighting Puello. I thought Puello won. But then moving on to Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda. So many people going into this fight, on some of the shorts I posted, or just stuff I see on the comment section of, any Shakur Stevenson video. People have bashed him ever since that De Los Santos fight, saying he's boring, he's a runner, he's pillow fist, he's got brittle hands, this, that, and the other. Just trashed him. And I've gotten sick of hearing it, and I've came to Shakur Stevenson's defense for a lot of it. And tonight he really showed out, and he had a great performance, and I'm really glad. And I think it just shuts up all the haters that have been out there saying all these things about him, all the boxing critics, all the quote-unquote analysts like Mike Coppinger. I think that dude needs to get fired from DAZN. I don't even know how he has a job, in all honesty. He was really big on, bashing Shakur Stevenson, saying he's boring and stuff like that. I dropped a YouTube short on it. But those type of guys, Shakur Stevenson shut up tonight. He looked great. It was a Mayweather-esque performance. He fought differently than I expected. I expected him to fight a little bit more like, I guess, on defense. I expected him to use his movement around the ring. I didn't expect him to actually sit in the pocket and bang it out with Zepeda and get the better of him in those exchanges. There was times where he sat up against the ropes and, Zepeda landed a flurry of shots, or, some of them got through, not all of them. But he did do some good work, and Shakur would have to fight himself off the ropes. And he did. He did good tonight, man. I was very impressed with Shakur Stevenson. The only knock you could give him is he didn't get Zepeda out of there, but Zepeda is an undefeated, contender. He was 33-0 with 27 knockouts. Ranked number 1 in every single sanctioning body. So I don't know what people are really going to say about it, about this performance. They're going to try to find something, but didn't see no signs of his hands hurting. Didn't see him run around the ring doing the whole Tom and Jerry like everyone's been saying. And he was hurting Zepeda. he actually looked like the stronger of the two. His punches looked sharper and harder, and he looked like he had more punching power. He just looked overall better than Zepeda in literally every single thing throughout the fight. But that just shows that he is possibly the best lightweight. You know, I think he is. And he's just levels above Zepeda. And I expected Zepeda's punch output to, you know, drop a little bit. And it did seem like he was fading a little bit toward the end. Shakur was landing some good body shots as well. But hats off to Shakur, Stevenson, and Zepeda. Zepeda showed that he's a quality fighter, and he's going to give certain guys issues. And then in the main event, I had picked Berlanga originally, and I switched my pick up today before the fight started, and I picked Sheeraz. I didn't like what I saw from Berlanga in the press conferences, or in like today he was doing some dance with his cup protector on and stuff like that. It just looked like he wasn't focused, and I haven't liked any of the antics he's been doing, and he's really been high on himself and honestly kind of seemed delusional about the whole Canelo fight. It gave him some confidence losing, but Hamzah Sheeraz came out there and stopped him in the 5th round, really beat the brakes off of him. And honestly, if there had been another 20 seconds on that round, he probably would have got him out of there the round he knocked him down twice. But it only took like 10 seconds after that round ended for him to get him out the next round. So I'm now a believer in Hamzah Sheeraz. I think he is the truth. I think he gives a lot of dudes trouble at 168. He's tall and rangy, and he's got power, so I think him being at 168 now is only going to help him with his punch resistance and his power, and I'm going to be looking out for him from now on. So those are my thoughts on the fight. Let me know what you guys thought. Hate, like, comment, subscribe.